Shadows. An opaque object is an object that will not allow light to pass through. When an opaque object passes in front of a source of light, a shadow will form. Look at the shadow of the aeroplane in the picture. The shadow looks dark because the light from the sun has been blocked from reaching the ground. The aeroplane is made from metal, which is opaque. The grass around the shadow looks brighter because light from the sun is reaching those areas. The aeroplane is opaque, so it makes a shadow on the ground. The next picture shows how the shadow is formed. Light travels in straight lines called rays. Light rays from the sun cannot pass through the aeroplane, so light rays that reach the aeroplane cannot reach the ground. Imagine you were standing on the grass. When the shadow of the aeroplane passes you, it will seem to go dark. When the shadow has gone, it will get brighter again. Solar eclipse. A solar eclipse happens when the moon comes between the sun and the earth. The moon is made from rock, so is an opaque object. The moon blocks the rays of light coming from the sun. The shadow of the moon forms on the earth. The diagram shows how the shadow of the moon is formed on the earth. In the middle of the shadow, all the light rays from the sun are blocked. People in the middle of the shadow observe a total solar eclipse. The left picture shows what a total solar eclipse looks like. Away from the middle of the shadow of the moon, some of the light rays from the sun can reach the earth. Away from the middle of the shadow, there is a partial solar eclipse. The right picture shows what a partial solar eclipse looks like. We measure mass in grams and kilograms with a measuring scale. For example, when you make a cake, you measure the mass of the flour, the sugar, and the butter in grams on a measuring scale. We measure weight in newtons on a force meter. The force meter hangs by a hook and has a hook at the other end to hang what you are measuring. The picture below shows a series of photographs taken as the moon passes between the Earth and the sun. The picture on the next page shows what a solar eclipse looks like from space. The dark part of the Earth is in the shadow of the moon. At the center of the shadow, there is a total solar eclipse. Away from the center, there is a partial solar eclipse. You must never look directly at the sun, even when there is an eclipse. The light from the sun is very bright and can cause permanent damage to your eyes. Lunar eclipse. A lunar eclipse happens when the Earth comes between the sun and the moon. The Earth is also an opaque object, so the Earth blocks the light from the sun. The shadow of the Earth is formed on the moon. The diagram shows how the shadow of the Earth forms on the moon. The picture shows a series of 3 photographs of the shadow of the Earth passing across the moon. The dark part of the Earth is in the shadow of the moon. People here see a solar eclipse. You might think that solar and lunar eclipses should happen every month. The moon takes 28 days to orbit the Earth, but the orbit of the moon is tilted slightly. The orbit of the moon is not exactly in the same plane as the orbit of the Earth around the sun. It is only when the sun, Earth, and moon are in the same straight line that eclipses can happen.
Which of these describes how a solar eclipse happens? Which of these describes how a lunar eclipse happens? How many days moon takes to orbit the Earth? An object that does not allow light to pass through it. A total solar eclipse is seen from the middle of the moon's shadow. A partial solar eclipse is seen away from the middle of the shadow of the moon. The Earth is also an underscore 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 underscore. It is only when the sun, Earth, and moon are in the same straight line that eclipses can happen. You must never look directly at the sun, even when there is an eclipse. People in the middle of the shadow observe a total solar eclipse.